Hey guys, Desolate Magicer. We've got tons of crazy Magic news. Oh my gosh, first up, we're gonna have a ban announcement pretty shortly. Next Monday to be specific, so if you're excited about just literally anything black at this point being banned from Standard, I got bad news for you. They are not going to ban anything from Standard until I believe it's next August, is it? Or July? I think August. Yeah. I'm glad WOTC doesn't provide medical care because it'd be a very interesting strategy to say, well, we're just going to give this emergency life-needed fix when the patient's already dead. So it's not Standard. We had Gavin come out and say it's not Pauper. Wizards isn't in control of the Commander ban list. That's the Commander Committee. So unless they're going to unban or reban something that has to do with a card that they leak speculative information about in order to basically do insider trading, in my opinion, then it's probably not that. So the question is, what are they unbanning from Modern? Can't wait for the Monday unban announcement. That'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be Splinter Twin or just... Next, some concerned citizen posted on Mark's blog, I get where the theming is coming from, but from the outside, I haven't played Magic in years. I like reading your design insights, though. There's all kinds of comments I can make about that, but sure. The commit a crime stuff looks like it's going to be treated like gotcha by the players. Certainly we'll see, but it looks/smells very similar from where I'm sitting. I believe he's referring to an unset thing where it's like gotcha when they said a certain word or like took their hand off the table or something like that. I think he's completely and utterly wrong. I mean, I remember the whole like cheaty face, I think it is, where you have to like sneak it into the battlefield, and if you can keep it there for one turn or something, you get to keep it there permanently, so you can like hide it wherever you want or just distract them. That's actually pretty funny. This cannot possibly be that. So, I mean, maybe if they'll call you out on something, but okay, anyway, here's Mark's response. It will cause inaction, ? You are encouraged to commit crimes, so it incentivizes interaction, not deter it. I have no idea what that had to do with the question. So he asked, the commit a crime stuff looks like it's going to be treated like gotcha by the players. Certainly we'll see, but it smells very similar from where I'm sitting. And he answered, it will cause inaction, ? I don't believe you were being accused of that. This is just weird. Anyway, you were encouraged to commit crimes. So, very lefty thing to say. I assume for brevity, he didn't actually mention that you have to be a specific skin color because it's really just reparations and they really need those flat screen televisions to feed their family. But yeah, he does say it incentivizes interaction, not deters it. So I think he just misinterpreted the phrase gotcha? I don't know, but it's information about the commit a crime thing that we've seen from, I honestly don't remember if it was the leaks or the official document. My guess is you'd probably create one treasure for every creature that left the battlefield, or for every like 2 or 3 damage done to your opponent, maybe. I mean, the set is Outlaw versus Outlaw and then Outlaw versus Sheriff, we know that. And then Adventuring Gang of Miscreant Anti-Heroes, because that worked out so well with Kill the Justice League. And they're going to be competing on like the Mother of all heists to find some kind of vault. So commit a crime is probably going to be just one of the factions because they're not all outlaws. There are also sheriffs. And I believe they already said the outlaws are red and red likes to generate treasures, so it's kind of coming together. But that's just my guess. But he says you are encouraged to commit crimes, so it incentivizes interaction, not deters it. So it's not like a risk-reward thing, you know, where it's like, oh, I better not because I'm already winning. I like the board state, so I'm not going to risk committing a crime. It sounds like it's going to be more like, you know, energy, like something that's just in the background and they just called it that. Now, an old bank holdup, that is risk reward, so I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. But like I said, I bet it's treasure generation or some new treasure, you know, food, energy, you know, some counter, whatever. If I had to break it down to the most literal translation, my guess is actually that it's undesirable things. So you killed one of your opponents, made them discard a card, because then it's like murder and theft and then maybe like one other thing. Because remember the recent keyword modified. Modified was equipped by an aura, equipped by an equipment, or it has a counter on it. So I think commit a crime is going to be a status very similar to that, but like crimes that you would normally commit in the game, you know? And that would be interactive, and it would be incentivized. And if it's popular and powerful enough and already rides on enough other existing things that are already in the game in huge numbers, people are going to jump on this for Commander like you wouldn't believe. So before moving on to the next news story, I forgot to mention before, yeah, they're just going to ban the One Ring. Come on. Like actually, come on. Do you really think they're going to do something other than that? It's past Christmas. So finally, the last story, Magic Spellslingers is going to be shut down after only 18 months of operation, and it's totally, quote, by Wizards. That makes sense. They're totally the ones running it and not a third party. And they're just licensing it with a percentage. Okay, editing around my hiccups right now is actually starting to piss me off, but I've tried to get rid of them for 15 minutes. I'm tempted to just leave them in. So it was some mobile thing. I mean, they've done stuff like this before. I'm going to go over the timeline in a bit. It's some watered down, dumb version of Magic. I'm sure it's just like a reskin of some other game because that's what they do, and that's just a cash grab. If I recall, I played it very briefly, and I was like, oh, this is just awful. But let's backtrack here. Let's backtrack a little bit. There was a watered-down version of Magic. It's one in a long string, going back to like the Xbox and stuff. I don't go back that far, so I'm not going to do it now either. But I think it was called Magic Legends, but that, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. Or something like Journey of the Planeswalker. I don't know, there's so many versions of it. But the very last one I saw, you could only have one mythic and like 2 rares or something in your deck, and it was actually like somewhat balanced, and it was like real story heavy. It was a real precursor to Arena. Pretty good, but they abandoned it pretty much for Arena. And these were like biannual releases just about at this point anyway. Pretty good, solid game, but people are like, oh, just play MTG or X-Mage or Cockatrice or Tabletop. I should say Tabletop Simulator. There probably is a table simulator out there where you just build tables. Then move on to a Netmarble creation, which, okay, full disclosure, they hired me to sponsor it on my channel. And I only did it because, 1, it was a huge Magic mobile game and I was going to cover it anyway, so might as well get paid. And 2, they let me check it out. It was really good. I mean, the one thing is if you wanted to max out and get a full collection, it would cost you actual hundreds of dollars, but you could just play in a lower league and be just fine. You didn't really need the best of the best. It was more balanced, more fair, and more like interesting and fun to play than the actual game. The weird thing is I actually don't remember the name of it. I think it was Mana Strike, but I actually don't remember because I think that was the stupid like tug of war, you know, what do they call that? Tower Rush or whatever. This was like before that. There's been so many Magic games that flopped. I'm probably forgetting a couple, but then there was the MMO. Oh my God. It was out in beta. They spent a ridiculous amount of money making it, and it was so boring, repetitive, vanilla, and formulaic. I don't know why they ever thought that would work. The only neat thing was the characters, the story, finally seeing the planes and be able to walk around in 3D. That was like mind-blowing, but that was the only thing that kept the game together. The only thing. It was fair, it was affordable, the leveling system wasn't a grind. It was a darn solid game, but it was so boring. And it had some technical issues and stuff, but it was in beta, you know, I get it. That was out for, I believe, 2 months. And then they shut it down due to immediate lack of interest and bad reviews. They're just like, why throw bad money after good, or good money after bad, or whatever they say. That was kind of a shame, because I'd like to say they could have salvaged it, but not the current creative team and the direction it was going. They made the most cookie cutter, just do it by the numbers. It's like if AI generated an MMO. It was so unbelievably not trying anything new, boring, get your dailies, you know, just run around and do MMO stuff. It might have maybe been passable in 2003. So that failed miserably. They gave refunds to anybody who spent money. It was a disaster. Now move on to Spellslingers. Absolutely dead on arrival. The Spellslingers YouTube channel has 585 subscribers. There you go. Official trailer, 78,000 views, 1,100 updoots, 3,200 approximate downdoots. Yeah, you get that many downdoots, they're going to start downdooting your money too, because this game was garbage. It's just trash. So I'm sure they're all just delighted with me, because I was the first person to blow the lid off this, because I just happened to stumble across, while purposely looking for it, the fact that the phrase Spellslingers was patented or trademarked or copyrighted, one of the three. I think it was trademark filing. And they had marked it as an electronic game, but if you know how trademarks work, I mean, just go watch the video. But yeah, I blew the lid off it, and We didn't really know what it was, but I was like, based on the evidence, I think it's a mobile game. And it turned out it was a mobile game. Hey, so I think I was the first person to review it poorly based on just the name and a trademark description. And then I thought it was weird because I thought like some other YouTubers were like called Spell Slangers. They had a section or like a little mini series called Spell Slangers. Wasn't it like it was Card Kingdom or Commander, not Commander Brothers. I don't watch any of those trash channels, obviously. Command Zone, is that what it is? I legitimately don't know, and they're like gigantic. But like I said, why would I watch them? Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, already died. If you look at one single screenshot of it, you would say, oh, Hearthstone. So they tried to revive that old one because that was successful, people liked it, and it made money. I mean, that just is what it is. Now, Spell Slingers was also on Steam, and it had a 6 out of 10. So it was just another middling generic blah, whatever. And I'm pretty sure I played it for a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit a wall, and this is just your typical mobile waste of time. And I play 1.5 mobile games, and that's about enough, okay? Pokemon Go and another one that I run in a very manipulative manner so that I can get free stuff. So the fact that it held down for 18 months, I mean, I'm sure they made some money, but as soon as the active player count dropped to the point where like matchmaking started getting affected or just the maintenance costs of the game and adding new content wasn't worth what you're making, they shut it down. That was always the intention. There's almost no such thing as a long-lived mobile game. I mean, Pokemon Go is an anomaly. And there's others, I can name a couple that are very popular, but a lot of them are flash in the pan. You get ones with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million players, and they last 2 years. That is very, very typical in the mobile area. Because people realize they're manipulative garbage and they either just quit forever, they move on to the next thing. If they're an addicted, stupid whale, or if they learn their lesson. That's basically the cycle that I was taught in a mobile development YouTube video seminar thing that became very famous after it got leaked because it was like how to be a scumbag, manipulative piece of human garbage 101. I think the person on stage went into hiding after that. Anyway, remember when Blizzard made that Diablo Immortal, was it? And it was just microtransaction hell overpriced. Like it was the most egregious, greedy mobile game ever designed by mankind. And they made millions per day on it. They made what an indie company could make on an entire game release in one day, even though everybody hated it. You know why? They designed it for China, okay? In China, it is a status symbol to just throw money at something and absolutely dominate. That is what their culture is. That is how they operate. And if you got the money, ta-da. And in China, you either really have money or you really don't. So if somebody wants to just show off, oh, look at me, I just threw, $200 at this mobile game, look how great I am. And that's like, it's not just like, oh, a bunch of, weak-minded people that shouldn't think that way. That's just a result of the way their culture went since the 80s. Okay, I'm not going to get into it, but they call it the great step forward or whatever. It's the great step backwards culture. Yeah. Nothing good happened after communism. I know that may shock some of you. So greed, boasting, show off to everybody, yeah, that is their culture now. The only thing that matters to city people in China is money. So if they go in there and like, oh, I can just dominate and beat other people and be better and show off and have this cool gear and armor if I just throw money at the game, okay. I mean, they're just like fine with that. A mobile game that egregious was never designed to work in America, and I feel like Spell Slingers wasn't either. The only difference is it never caught on. No, maybe they made $100 million. I have no idea. Who knows? I think those are self-reported numbers. I'm not sure if Google makes them public, but to last 18 months, you had someone playing that, and I don't think it was Americans. Any big mobile thing is not targeting Americans. I'm surprised, not Pokemon Go, Monopoly Go is even targeting, well, they're just targeting everyone because they can, and because it kind of took off. In a lot of Asian countries, with a lot of big rich whales, it's usually like a more anime battle style, what would you call that? I mean, in Japanese, it would be shonen. So like if they say it's a shonen anime, it's let's just say it very, very much appeals to young males. So go beat up the bad guy, go get that treasure and make something of yourself and earn a living. Like let's battle it out, testosterone enthusiast fest. That's usually what flies over in that region of the world and a couple other countries too, of course. And this was a card battler, which I don't remember where card games have been spiking on and off as far as countries and regions, but not America. Card games are dead in America as of like Artifact. Steam's attempt to make Hearthstone, which also failed. We are so over and past that. I mean, the Pokemon card game really blew up card games in Japan, but I don't know. I think that market's a little soft too. But they did purposely release it in a whole bunch of different languages. So they already knew who they were going to maybe hook into that. And like I said, it wasn't Americans. Definitely. I guarantee you that, in my opinion. But people move on. Okay, they don't play the same game for 5 years. That's the other thing with mobile games and games like that. They want the new rush. They get sick of the grind. They hit the max level and they can't find new people. So it's just shut her down. It is what it is. It's the life cycle. So just bad product all around. Everybody in America, English speaking world and stuff, they hated it, and that's not who it was for. And now it's going away. There's your little mini documentary on, as far as I can tell, what happened. Well, I'm going to go get hyped AF by watching some more shonen animes like DBZ. And I'm not doing it just to offset the fact that I'm cooking and cleaning right now in between takes. The manliest of tasks. I'm going to defeat grime and mold and disorder. And my rumbling stomach, damn it, it will be demolished. I'm going to meet it head on and train until I am the best cleaner and cook ever. Come to think of it, I really got to watch more cooking animes. I've heard they're all pretty much good. Anyway, thanks for watching. That has been your Desolator News Network news. Subscribe for more craziness, and I'll see you guys next time WOTC does something crazy, and definitely on Monday for the band announcement.